Joined today by men's soccer head coach Steve Babineau for a preseason preview interview. Coach, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thanks for having me.
You guys have been through just about a couple weeks of preseason practices. How's everything looking so far?
Well, I could probably answer that better in hopefully end of October, early November. But we have a lot of new guys here, and now in my fourth year, it's actually the best shape that this group's come in. So we're pretty excited about their fitness level. So it gave us an opportunity to play soccer right away. So that helped out quite a bit. We still have a lot of work ahead of us, but the team seems to be gelling quite well right now.
You mentioned a lot of newcomers, 13 newcomers in total, just about half your roster. What do you expect from this incoming group? Depth, jump in right away and contribute, a little bit of both?
Right, well, if you think about them, I think at some point throughout the year, within their first 2 years, I think all 13 of them can make an impact. Some obviously right away. Others, it may take some time to just kind of get them used to the college game, the transition from high school to college. So we do expect a lot from them, but with 13 new ones, and it's tough. It could be like a whole new team. But the older guys have taken well to the younger guys under their wings, and they're good about showing them some things and what we think they can be doing to help us even more. And I think the whole team chemistry is a big thing for us right now, and everybody's just working towards one goal.
Now, on the flip side of the newcomers and returners, having lost a couple starters to graduation and a bunch of returning guys, all conference guys, Zach Johnson, Teddy Palmer, Dan McIntyre, Jack Lafreniere. Looks like a pretty solid group of returners, Kenny Gray and Net. Just kind of talk about that group of returners, what you expect from them leadership-wise, and hopefully taking the next step on the field.
Yeah, those guys you mentioned, they're basically the heart and soul of what we do, and I think that obviously we'll see them on the field, and what position we don't know, because we may need to move some guys around. But I think the leadership is basically taking the younger guys under their wing, like I said before, and obviously showing them things that they do during training sessions, or even in the off season or in the weight room, that's helped them be successful on the field. And we turn to our guys to do that, because sometimes it means more coming from your peer rather than your coach, and our guys are open to that, because they look at the 13 new guys and they don't see them as a threat. They see how they can continue to help this program, and it's been a really good week and a half so far.
Now, one of your guys, Jack Lafreniere, a senior, was here for the first GNAC championship. He has 2 GNAC titles under his belt. And of course, the other returners have all sorts of tournament experience and playing in the conference. How is that going in practice so far for these guys to let the younger guys know how the conference plays out and what Division III soccer is all about?
Yeah, Jack Lafreniere, he's got a great story, with the 2 championships, but he came in as a forward, and currently was playing right back, and we're still sorting out where he's going to be, if it's a right back or a forward. But that's a great story in itself, but he can talk about the experience about going and winning 2 GNAC championships, 2 NCAA tournament appearances, and the older guys of last year. So they just kind of lay it out. But the key thing is our guys understand that it's not necessarily about the experience and being in that environment and the stage and the atmosphere. It's what it took to get them there, and that's what these guys are good at doing. Is talking about how hard we have to work and doing the little things that make the big difference in a game. And that's the most important thing that we're getting from our group, not necessarily the details of when we're there, if we can get there. It's what we need to do, and that's been the talk. That's obviously one of our team goals, but we've got a long road ahead of us. We've got some tough teams out of conference, and of course our conference, it seems like every single year that you can't count anybody out in the 11, and we don't know what to expect. We know some other programs only graduated 1 or 2 seniors. Albertus and Norwich and LaSalle's reloaded. New coach down at Johnson and Wales, and you never know what everybody else is doing with recruiting. So we just focus on what we're doing and communicating that with our guys, and we'll see how this thing all shakes out.
Now, talking about your schedule, you start right off here this weekend in the USM Soccer Classic over in Gorham. USM coming up right on, was that Saturday?
It's Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
and UMass Dartmouth the next day. A couple Little East Conference opponents. Talk about what it's like to kind of go in with a new group and a new year into 2 games against good opponents right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, two games in the Little East Conference. I mean, that's a tough conference to play in. So we schedule that for that reason, because it's a difficult conference that they play in, and it's going to help us grow. I think that, we can probably answer this in maybe the first 5-10 minutes of the Southern Maine game that we play, because I think some of the new guys will find the field right away, and they kind of have the deer in the headlight look. We did have a scrimmage last Saturday that went quite well, but I think they just need to work out the jitters and understand that we believe in them, and playing against them in the Little East is as good as our conference, and these are teams that are going to be tough, and we need to play and try to get the result with them too.
Right. Now this year, a couple new guys on staff. One new guy, one kind of not so new. He's been around, but both have been big parts of the program in past years. Talk about their influence.
Yeah, Coach Pike played for me in 2009 as a goalkeeper, the first GNAC championship. So was happy to get him on board this year as an assistant coach, and he's impacted the program right away. One with his experience in 2009, took some time away in coaching club and some high school, and has really grown as a young man and as a coach, and has been able to kind of step in. He's been around even the last couple of years, kind of seeing how things have been run under my guidance. So he's understanding what I think and what now we think it takes to be successful for these guys. So he stepped in right away. Tremendous respect from the group. Coach Jeff Yeager, our goalkeeping coach, is great to have him back. Was with us in 2009 as an assistant, so he experienced that. Took some time off with his family. And was able to kind of get him back to work with the men and women this year, and he's been a tremendous help with our goalkeepers. It seems like every year, we have 2 or 3 goalkeepers that are new that need a lot of training, and we've lacked that in the past. And with Coach Yeager's help, and it's been nice to let him take that role. Coach Pike and I can take the team, and vice versa, because Coach Yeager can do the team as well. But it's been nice to get his feedback, and I've already noticed a huge improvement in our goalkeeping already because of him. So, and we'll still have Coach Bartlett as well. He's going to be on the road for us, so we're pretty excited about having that aspect of him doing the recruiting for us. So, pretty excited to have a pretty big coaching staff.
It's absolutely great. Now, talking about coaching, now, Coach, you're heading into your 4th year. Put you on the spot here a little bit. What would you say has changed about your coaching philosophy or the way you go about things from your first year here at St. Joe's, your first head coaching stint in college, to now? Not necessarily X's and O's. We don't expect you to reveal any trade secrets or anything, but maybe some things that you did then that you wouldn't do now, or vice versa, and how things have changed for you.
Yeah, well, I don't know that I'm doing anything different than the next guy. No one's trying to reinvent the wheel. So as soccer coaches, we always steal from the next guy and just make it our own. But in 2009, when I took the program over, it was a completely different group. Very successful back then, and I would say that we're still on the up and up in regards to being successful. But I think the way that I've learned to coach at least the current group is personality-wise, is man management, if you will, and dealing with the personalities and listening to your players, not necessarily on specific X's and O's things, but how they're feeling and when to push them and when to back off, and listening to their opinions and working together with them. I think 4 years ago, being a rookie head coach, it was easy for me to have my mindset on how I thought things should be run, and that's the way it was going to go. And now I think it's more of a collaborative group effort.
Like give and take a little bit.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And I've always said to guys, look, we think as a coaching staff that we have some tools and some suggestions on how you should play the game in certain areas, and we're going to give you those. And those are our suggestions. And we think you're going to be successful if you follow through with them. And the guys have been great with that response. And it's just a respect from the coaching staff to the players, being all as one and just trying to work together as one. And I think that's kind of how I've changed. The coaching philosophy, I think you have to change year by year especially with 13 new guys. I mean, this could change tomorrow or in mid-season, but right now everything's good, and we haven't played a regular season game, but we'll see how it goes.
Now, one of the toughest things to do in sports is to defend a championship, and that's exactly what you're trying to do. How do you define a successful season following up a conference championship?
Right. Well, I think the guys would define it as nothing less than a GNAC championship would be a disappointment, because we return so many guys. The new guys are making impacts right away. How I try to handle it with them is, that's great. I think we discuss it right away. We talk about it because that was the big thing of last year. But it is last year. And, we are the defending champs, but I don't see it like that. It's a new year. We've got 13 new guys. It's a clean slate. We're starting from the ground up. And we need to do specific things to just get to the GNAC tournament and hopefully get to the GNAC championship. But we all understand that there's going to be a big bullseye on us, and everybody wants to knock off the defending champs. So we'll talk about that piece, but we're starting. It's a new clean slate, new guys. Some of the older guys are coming back in different spots, and we at least know what we think it takes in regards to work ethic and to try to get to the tournament again. And that's kind of how we've dealt with it, and it is very difficult to repeat. I don't know that anybody's done it on the men's side. Maybe Norwich, I'm not sure, but it's very, very difficult. I know the track record in at least last 3 or 4 years as the defending champ has finished either 5th or 7th in the conference rankings to get into the tournament. So it's very difficult.
Well, Coach, again, thanks for your time. The Monks begin their season this weekend, like we said, Friday at USM, 1:30, and then Saturday at 2 o'clock over on USM's campus in Gorham. And then the home opener this fall is against Johnson & Wales, a GNAC opponent, Saturday, September 8th at 1 p.m.
Yep.
Let's get as many fans out there as we can rooting for the Monks. And, Coach, is there anything else you want to add at the end of this interview?
No, just if you have the opportunity to watch this interview, come out and check us out, and if not, go to the website. We've got a great webcast, and you have the opportunity to kind of see us play as well. If you can't actually make it out to the game, we always like you to follow us on the internet. So, thanks a lot for your time today, Corey.
All right, thanks, Coach.